Welcome back. This is your Manchester United versus Arsenal match preview. It's going to be a tough game against Arsenal. Looking at Arsenal form, even though they don't have a striker, but their performance is still just greater. I saw the last game that was against PSV in the Champions League where they won that game 7-1 away. There was just a teamwork amongst Arsenal players. They didn't have a striker, but you can see they were playing. It was all about teamwork, creating chances, and utilizing those chances. And they ended up scoring those 7 goals. And the players that scored those goals were not even, it was not a striker because they didn't have a striker in that game. It was a midfielder, defenders, fullbacks, and that's what Manchester United lack at this time. There's no teamwork with these players. We saw a game against Real Sociedad in the Europa League where we had a lot of chances, but we're not utilizing them. Poor decision making when we had the ball. So that chance that the Lord had, and we saw Rasmus Højlund making that run. Instead of the Lord passing that ball to Rasmus Højlund to score, what did he do? Doesn't do that. That's just a chance that was just wasted. That was a chance that if the Lord could have passed that ball to Rasmus Højlund inside the 18, Rasmus Højlund could have scored. Same with Garnacho. It was a chance where he needed to pass, but what did he do? He decided to shoot and it went wide. So looking at the way we are playing, with the Arsenal are playing, they're still far ahead of us. Looking at their position in the Premier League, they're second in the Premier League. Why are we in the 14th in the Premier League? Because we don't create much chances. We don't even utilize the little chances that we create, and we want to win games. We can't win games because if these players lack teamwork, they can't stand a chance to win against an Arsenal team. You can see they're coming to this game without a striker. But against us, you saw them last season. They came at Old Trafford and salvaged those 3 points. I think they won. I would say they were lucky to win that game because it was 1-0. They were lucky to win that game because see, most of that game we kind of dominating. But this season, them coming at Old Trafford, even though they are in their best form, it's going to be a tough one. Even though at Old Trafford is our weakness this season, where we've been losing most of the games at Old Trafford. So far, we've lost, I think, 8 games at Old Trafford. That shows how bad we are at Old Trafford. If these players don't play so well, I see Arsenal salvaging those 3 points again in a second season in a row. I know the last game we played against Arsenal was in the FA Cup, and Arsenal saw our strength. So we played 10 men the last 60 minutes, and we ended up eliminating them through the penalties. So Arsenal knows that Manchester United also is not an easy team again. Playing us won't be that easy. Even them, they know. Looking at in this game that they'll play against us is a game that, with them lacking a striker, I don't see them going through because Manchester United defense is that solid. With a team like Arsenal that doesn't have a striker, I know Manchester United won't give them an easy room to mingle around and to create those chances because they'll have to get a natural striker with the lack at the moment. So I don't think the likes of Odegaard, Rice, Moneri getting those chances that I saw when they're playing PSV. I would say PSV, what that was just giving them free spaces. They're not defending so well. But with Manchester United, the defenders that we have, Delete, Yoro, and Mazurui, the Arsenal lacking a striker. I don't see them standing a chance against us at Old Trafford. Look at the last game. They ended during that game against Nottingham Forest. Look at our last game, the Premier League. We defeated Ipswich 3-2. So I think that's the boost that we have going to this game against Arsenal to Old Trafford. Looking at Manchester United, will want also to win back-to-back Premier League games. So far this season, we haven't won a back-to-back Premier League games. And against Arsenal tomorrow might be the day of which it's going to be a difficult game. Looking at the Arsenal are performing, they're in the best form at the moment. And if I'll say defeating them, it will be just a miracle defeating Arsenal. I'm saying it's just a miracle. I'm putting my hope on that. But I won't lie saying that we'll defeat Arsenal, but I see Arsenal defeating us. Even though we eliminated them in the FA Cup, though if you look at the performance, their performance was just good. So I won't lie. Arsenal will defeat us 2-1 if they will be lucky. But if a miracle happen, maybe we'll stand a chance to defeat them. But I'm not putting my hope on this place winning, defeating Arsenal. I'm just putting my hope on a miracle. Looking at the performance of the Premier League, we have not been performing so well. We've not been getting more chances. We've not been producing more shots on target. We're just not that good. Looking at Patrick Dorgu, the game against Real Sociedad, he played so well. I would say he just played so well, making those runs. But I think the thing that was affecting most of those long balls where it was just a waste. It was just wastage on him. You could not reach on them so easily. So if Manchester United stop on those long balls, I think and putting the ball down, possessing it so well, will be getting more chances. So Patrick Dorgu won't be available against Arsenal. He's still serving his suspension, where he got that red card against. I think the game against. I think it was in the game against Ipswich. Yeah, it's a game against Ipswich. I think in the next Premier League game, that's against Forest, where he will be back. But against Arsenal, he won't be available, and that will be a big mix. Manchester United, seeing the lot again playing in that position, and you know the lot hasn't been that good so far. In the right, it's not that good. In the left, also, it's just a disaster. But we don't have an option. We just have to stick with him. He's our player, so we just have to stick with him. So that means Mads Rowe will play in the right wing back, and being that Maguire also won't be available in this game, Maguire and Manuel Ugarte, that means I would say Victor Lindelof back in the defense. But I would really want to see Aiden Heaven. I know he's a young kid, which I know Amorim will not want to throw him in this game against Arsenal, knowing that this is a game that will have a lot of pressure. So I would say Victor Lindelof starting, looking at his experience. So Victor Lindelof will start in that back three of Maguire. Sorry, in the back three of Delete, Euro, and him. In the midfield, Manuel Ugarte still won't be available, so we still have the same midfield against Sociedad. That's Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes. Casemiro against Real Sociedad, he was fantastic. He was great in that midfield. So I think him coming back again against Arsenal is what we expect. As I said earlier, the lot in the left wing back, which I know he will be a disappointment. I'm not always putting my hope on Diego Dalot. I know what he can do. Once during the right wing back, I know as always it will be fantastic for us. And Zaxi, our top scorer against Real Sociedad, where he scored his first goal in the Europa League. So I'll be expecting to see him score goals for us today. He can. I can see a player like Zaxi is a player that has been improving. You can see has been improving, and him scoring a goal against Arsenal, to me, I see it possible. And the Garnacho also being in the left end, and Rasmus Højlund as our nine. Rasmus Højlund, drought of goals is also worrying. He has now gone 19 games without scoring goals. I would really have loved to see Chido Obi Martin starting in that first 11 as our striker, but we know this Arsenal, a game that will have a lot of pressure. It's still young. I don't think if he can really handle Magalhaes and William Saliba. I think those defenders will bully him if he starts. Maybe in the last 15 minutes, the way we saw against, I think against Fulham when he came in. So him coming in those last 15 minutes, I would say it's something good because he won't have that much pressure. So I think that's just it. I think that first starting 11, I think it's not that good, knowing that we'll be missing Ugarte in that midfield, but we don't have any option. I think that's 11 that will face Arsenal, and probably let's hope there's not a chance to win. But as I said earlier, it's just a miracle if we win against Arsenal, because Arsenal, their performance, even though they lack a striker in their team, looking at all of their strikers are out injured, they still might come and dominate us at Old Trafford. Look at our record at Old Trafford is not that good. But all in all, it's football, and at the end of it, the results is what matters. We know the performance of these players hasn't been so good. So what we are holding on until the end of the season, just the results. If they play poorly, they play bad, and they win the game, that's just it. Because we know these players with the system, they can't they're not adjusting in it so well. So we just have to push it until the end of the season. Even Ruben Amorim did say that we're just surviving. Let's just survive until the end of the season. So that's what we are doing. And also the protest that will be tomorrow, the 1958 fans. I think that's fans that are speaking for the Manchester United fans, 1958, also planning their protest will be tomorrow before that game. And but I don't think if that game will be stopped because of the protest, because it's the Premier League and the game will just go on. They'll just protest, but at the end of it, the game will continue. But let's hope. I'll have loved if this game was just postponed because the way the Glazers, seniors, and handling the club is not something good. So I think the protest, building in much pressure on them, it's something good, but which I know the game won't be postponed. But I would have loved if this game is postponed. We have a rest and we prepare for the game against Real Sociedad next week. But I know the game will still go on. Ruben Amorim also still sticking on his ideas, sticking on his formation. He still won't change. Even if the media says that he need to change it, media putting on pressure that Amorim need to change the formation, the plan it. But what I know, he will stick with his ideas until the end, which I know it will work. It will work when you have the best players in the summer that will really adjust to this system, with this formation, with these ideas, and the things will be looking good. At the moment, let's just feel the pain in the long run. In the long run, let's just feel the pain. But in the future, things will be looking good because Amram is a good coach, a coach that can really build this team so well. So Amram also looking forward for him winning his second Premier League game. He hasn't won his second. He hasn't won a back-to-back Premier League game since he took charge. Looking at when he came, we were in the 14th position, and also now we're still in the 14th position. So I think with 33 points, so winning against Arsenal might boost our points. And even after the end of the season, if we win the games that we have, we still can't finish we will still remain half of the table. That's where we will just remain. But at least win more games, win more games. At least that shows that this players' mentality is good and they have that winning spirit in them and they want to win games going forward. I think that's all I had for you. Thank you for watching. Talk to you in the next one.